The Raptors have cut up their franchise to get younger, and now NBA teams are surrounding Pascal Siakam like sharks. Did you know a shark can smell one drop of blood in an Olympic-sized swimming pool? Well, that's what this is like. Reports say the Clippers, Warriors, and Kings are all making calls, but the Raptors don't want to budge. They say nothing will happen unless they're blown away, which is code for we're listening. Warrior, King, and Clipper fans are gonna hate this video because these packages are steep. Pascal is coming off a down year for his standards. He got COVID and a torn labrum, so his trade value is pretty low right now. You are not going to like it. However, the Raptors are treating his trade value as if he just won the 2019 championship. One of the best players on a championship team and still getting better. I'm not so sure I agree, but make no mistake, Raptor fans, Pascal is available. This video shows exactly what it would take to get him. Yo, it's Casey, this is AM Hoops, 5 videos per week, dropping at 5 p.m. Eastern. Even in the offseason, because there is still so much to talk about. And I take what Adrian Wojnarowski says seriously. He told a Canadian radio show, quote, "I would be shocked if they traded Pascal Siakam." And to me, that actually doesn't kill the trade. All it means is that the trade package needs to be shocking. So please do not comment that these teams would never trade that much for Pascal Siakam. This is what it will take. Even with those problems that we talked about, COVID and the injury, he still averaged over 21 points a game last year with a career-high 5 assists, and the Raptors don't have to trade him. That gives them leverage. He's 27 years old, which means in 3 to 4 years, when their young guys are mature, Pascal will still be in his prime. Siakam even says, "I don't want to be traded." But I don't believe it, especially after that fight he got in with Nick Nurse last year. But just because Siakam is saying all the right things doesn't mean he is gonna stay. The bottom line, Toronto is rebuilding. They turned Norman Powell into Gary Trent Jr., they traded Kyle Lowry for pieces including Precious Achiuwa, and they drafted Scotty Barnes over Jalen Suggs. Did anybody think they did that? Maybe because they planned to trade Pascal for a package including a young point guard? Well, that's exactly what they would get if the Kings got Pascal Siakam and the Raptors landed Davion Mitchell, Buddy Hield, Marvin Bagley III, 3 firsts and 2 first-round pick swaps. This package is almost too perfect. We all knew that they don't need Davion Mitchell with Tyrese Halliburton and De'Aaron Fox already on the team. Mitchell is close to an ideal fit in Toronto. He's coming off a national championship as the best defensive guard in college, which fits the Raptors' identity. He improved offensively in college to become a quality shooter, and he is more ready than Malachi Flynn to take over Lowry's place. Now, I actually like Fred VanVleet off the ball anyway, so I think this move helps the entire backcourt. This also helps Toronto's depth. Gary Trent Jr. can become a go-to scorer off the bench with Buddy Hield starting, or if they want to flip that, that's fine. And they could finally have a promising young big man in Marvin Bagley, though health obviously is a concern. Now, I think the Kings have interest in Pascal for 3 reasons. First, they haven't made the playoffs since 2006. They have to do something. Second, Pascal would balance out the roster by adding young, experienced talent in the front court. And third, he is a really good defender. Sacramento had the worst defense in the NBA last year, and if they make any moves, it's gotta be for a two-way player, like Siakam or Ben Simmons. I can see them actually trying to trade for either guys, but in both cases, the asking price will be steep. Simmons, to me, is a bigger risk because of his attitude and his shooting problems. Siakam is the safer bet because he's a proven winner, but I think he probably has a lower ceiling. The next trade would be the Clippers getting Siakam, the Raptors getting Terrence Mann, Luke Kennard, Ivica Zubac, Justice Winslow, Yogi Ferrell for salary, their 2028 first and 3 seconds. Now, before you say this deal sucks for Toronto, hear me out. This is the best that the Clippers could possibly offer. Every young player they have is in this deal. Zubac solves their serious big man issue. Obviously, Aaron Baines didn't work out. While they have Chris Boucher, they really could have used a young talent like Evan Mobley, so they need to take depth at center seriously in the rebuild. Losing Lowry and Siakam would really hurt their excellent three-point shooting, so getting Luke Kennard back helped. Terrence Mann proved he's an up-and-coming player this postseason, and Justice Winslow is like a nice, cheap gamble who's still just 25 years old. I think actually the Clippers have a really underrated package here to offer the Raptors. In LA, Siakam would just be another playoff-proven two-way wing. You can't have too many of those. They're gonna need Siakam too to fill Kawhi's role during the regular season, and he would love landing there. In LA, he's on a contender with Kawhi and PG locked up for 3 more years. But I think the best package comes from the Golden State Warriors. They get Siakam, the Raptors get Andrew Wiggins, James Wiseman, Moses Moody, and 2 firsts. That is a haul of good young talent, and Wiseman off a best year of his career. What I love about the Dubs trading with Toronto is their cultures match. High talent guys that take defense seriously. That's what they will get in all these players. And youth puts Wiseman, Moody, and the picks on their timeline. Now, we already discussed the need for a good young center that takes care of Wiseman. Moody is a perfect replacement for Siakam in the front court. On the Dubs, Pascal has just enough range to mix well with Draymond offensively, but obviously creates an insanely lethal defensive front court. Dude not only averaged those 21 points and 5 assists we talked about, but he added over 7 boards and over a steal per game. Do the Warriors really want Bradley Beal to maybe demand a trade? Do they want to gamble on Ben Simmons, who might hurt their chemistry? Or do they want a player who fits and has proven he can win as a championship number 2 or 3? Now, if they do decide on Siakam, it'll cost a ton, but it might be their only choice. But the most important question here is, will Pascal actually get traded? If I had to bet, no. Masai Ujiri just re-signed with this team, and does he really want to go through a full rebuild? That's what trading Siakam would be, years of losing. Plus, I think he's kind of proud of finding Siakam to begin with as a diamond in the rough to becoming a max player. If they trade Siakam now, it would be at a low point in his value. Ujiri is smarter than that. Other people say, oh, well, they just drafted Scotty Barnes and they have similar playing styles. Well, you can't have too many wings in the NBA, and Toronto has multiple good ones. These rumors probably got started because teams smelled a broken relationship between Siakam and Nurse. That was probably overblown. Players get frustrated. I think the bigger question now for Toronto is, will Siakam bounce back from last year to continue to grow as this team's best player? And that goes for any team that wants Pascal Siakam. The Raptors, again, need to be blown away. Now, I just made these scenarios because the Warriors, Kings, and Clippers are rumored to be interested, but let me know what you think of these trades. And also check out these draft grades because they show the Raptors kind of need to trade Pascal Siakam.